In this video, I'll be showing the most efficient way to auto-farm pumpkin seeds and candy in Roblox Islands. So all you'll need is an auto-clicker, and then you'll need a Rageblade if you have a high ping, or you'll need a Gilded steel hammer if you have a low ping. Ping is basically just like how long it takes for you to connect to the server and for your actions to actually happen in the server. So if you have a high ping, you have a little bit of time delayed in between attacks, so the Gilded steel hammer won't be fast enough and they'll be able to hit you. But the Rageblade swings very quickly, so they won't be able to hit you if you use the Rageblade. Disclaimer, the owner of Islands said that macros and auto-clickers are allowed. Then you'll also need an auto-clicker, which the most popular one is probably OP auto-clicker. You can literally just find an auto-clicker by searching it on Google, but make sure that the one you're using is safe. Don't download any suspicious stuff. There are also some auto-clickers in the App Store on mobile, so if you're on a phone, then you can do this too. So now to actually do this, you're going to go through the portal to go to the new Halloween island, and then you're going to go the opposite way from the witch. So the witch is that way, just turn right, and then here there are some mobs that you can fight that the witch doesn't spawn, and then you may notice that they're not like where they usually spawn, so just defeat them, and then yeah, whenever they respawn though, you're going to want to go over here, and then I'll show you exactly where to stand to auto farm them, but just fight them all so that they respawn where they're supposed to be. Here comes the hardest part, which is pretty easy still. So you're going to try to get them both to go over to you, and then put your back against this fence, and then it's okay if you take a little bit of damage. If you take a lot of damage, then just use Rageblade, because that means that you probably have a higher ping, or the Gilded Steel Hammer just doesn't work for you. But now whenever they respawn, try to put your mouse in the middle in between them like I'm doing right now, and if your mouse isn't exactly located on both of them, then it is okay, because like the Gilded Steel Hammer attacks in a radius around your mouse whenever you're zoomed in, but you just want to test to see if you're taking damage or not. So try to make it angled as best as you can. Later they're probably going to make these like the other mobs where you have to move for them to actually go and like to have them move to you, so you might have to jump later. So just like put something on your space bar, or use a macro where it's clicking and pressing space at the same time. But for now, you just need an auto clicker. Sometimes it will do a few glitches like that. Like I don't know why it went in the rock, but my friend did this for about 2 hours and he didn't take any damage. So you might have to change your position a little bit, but just position yourself where the fence is right behind you and you're zoomed in all the way like this, and then auto-clicking in between wherever the two mobs are and where they spawn. To position yourself exactly where you need to be, what you want to do is just have your Gilded Steel Hammer out already, and then just like jump in front of here, then press S until you can't go back anymore, and if you look down, you'll see the fence like right behind you. So I waited for a minute, and the mobs are randomly walking around now, so you have to fight them, and then right before they respawn, you have to like run over here, and then you can just auto farm them for however long you want. And it's very easy to set up. It takes about 2 minutes, and you can even test which one's better for you. Like for me, if I stand right here whenever the mobs respawn, then I think that the Rageblade might be better for me, because you see that it's like turning because I wasn't right there where I needed to be by the fence. So like you have to get the exact position whenever you're standing here, or else they're going to go to the side and it's not going to work. I recommend to also have food in your inventory so that while you're trying to set it up, you can just eat the food to heal. But it sometimes does damage to me. I think I have the perfect position right now where it doesn't do damage to me, but if it even does damage to you once whenever you already have a perfect position, like right there it did damage to me, then you're going to need to use the Rageblade, and then if you auto-click, then you can probably do like 30 damage. So you basically do the same damage. The only reason why the Gilded Steel Hammer is a little better is because you do like 37 damage, whenever you're using it if it does a critical hit, and the Rageblade is only 22.5 critical damage. The Steel Hammer, since it does more damage, it's a little better, and you're only fighting 2 mobs, so Gilded Steel Hammer is the best if you can use it. 2 more things I want to mention. The Gilded Steel Hammer is worse than the Rageblade if you're fighting stuff like a Buffalo Core or any of the mobs on the islands, because with the Rageblade you can attack it super fast and do way more damage. But the Halloween mobs you can't stand on, and they have a weird knockback thing. Like, the knockback seems a little different than other things. Like, you do less damage with the Rageblade to them, so I think that Gilded Steel Hammer is a little bit better for the Halloween mobs. I don't know why, but a lot of people think this kind of farm is not an auto farm. Like, every video I've done where it's like auto farming something like this, then people are like, hey, that's not an auto farm. It's automatic, and you're farming the Halloween mob, so if it's automatic and you're farming something, then it's an auto farm. Also, I guess if you have a lower ping, then you'll have a lower wait time in between hits from the Rageblade, so it's really up to your personal preference of if you like the Gilded Steel Hammer or the Rageblade better, but I think for most people, the Rageblade might be better for this. Whenever fighting them, even with the Rageblade, you might take damage sometimes still. So to avoid that, just keep moving your camera around. If you have it in the middle between both of the mobs, then experiment with it by just like moving your camera up a little bit, moving your camera down a little bit, moving where you're standing a little bit. But you want to stand as close as you can to like this area around here. But just keep adjusting things until you're not taking damage anymore. And I suggest to watch your auto farm for a minute or two to make sure you don't take any damage, and if you don't, then you can just continue auto farming. I was trying to figure out a way to auto farm the witch. The mobs the witch spawns are different, like they only go to try to attack you if you get very close to them, while the mobs over there go to you even if you're a little far. So if you were wanting to fight the witch, you would need macros on like 5 or 6 different devices, one that would handle each of the areas around the spawn, and even then they just like spawn, and it's very complicated. There's no way to actually auto farm the witch unless if you like adjusted where you're standing on 6 devices. It would take like 2 hours to set up, and the only difference would be that you would get a few more pumpkin seeds. So it's way better just to farm the Halloween mobs with 1 auto clicker than it is to have to use like 6 different devices with macros to auto farm the witch, because you need to have 5 set up for the spawns and then a 6th one to throw the potion once every now and then. But the witch walks around randomly, I think. So I think it wouldn't even be possible to auto farm the witch, but I'm still going to try other ways of auto farming it, like standing in different places, macros. I'm gonna just like see if I can find a way to auto farm the witch using macros and or auto clickers. So I'm going to try to do that. If I end up finding a way, then I'll do a video on that too, but right now we can only auto farm these. The witch gives pumpkin seeds and no candy though, so in a way it's kind of better to auto farm these, because the witch gives you a trophy but only 1 per account, so like you don't really get that much from the witch. My friends and I have tried standing in other places. If you stand the opposite direction, then the 3rd mob will attack you. You can probably find a place to stand over there that will work, but you'll only be able to farm 1 of the mobs. The best place is over here because you can farm 2 of the 3. There's nowhere you can stand to auto farm all 3 of them, because the only way to get all of them to go to you would be standing in the middle, and then you can't attack them from all sides at once. So yeah, this is the most efficient and best way to auto farm them. Also, if you're wondering how to check your ping, just press escape, then settings, and then under performance stats, if you just press on, then you can see your ping in the top right. So I have around 250-ish right now, and I'd say that if you have over 150, that's kind of a high-ish ping, but if you have under 150, then that's a lower ping. You'd probably have to have under 150 ping to successfully use the Gilded Steel Hammer, and they don't attack you. With the Gilded Steel Hammer, you have a very low range of where you can be off a little bit. Like, if you're using the Rageblade, since it attacks super fast, if you're not at like the exact area you need to be whenever you're swinging it, then it will be okay usually. But with the Gilded Steel Hammer, since it swings kind of slowly, if one hit is off, then you'll probably take damage, and then that will repeat, and then the auto farm won't work. This is actually faster than manually farming it. Usually auto farms, you have to wait for things and it's slower, but since only 3 mobs spawn, and whenever you're angled like this, every hit hits, but whenever you're just like chasing them and you're spam clicking or auto clicking, then you'll miss a few times probably, and since they're super small, you can't keep hitting them. But if you're over here and it's angled like this, then you can just like keep spam clicking, and it's way better doing that. The only thing you could get better by manually farming it is if you're in a big VIP server or published server and everyone is fighting the witch, then you can probably get pumpkin seeds a bit faster, because the witch is guaranteed to drop pumpkin seeds, but it's a rare drop for the other Halloween mobs. Thanks for watching. I don't really know what to say to comment, so I guess comment something completely random to confuse people who just like instantly scrolled down to the comments. But make sure to subscribe with the notifications on for mostly daily islands videos, sometimes every other day, but still trying to do daily videos. And also like the video, join the Discord server and Roblox group links in the description for trading and talking about Roblox islands, and follow my Twitter at Telanthric. I'm trying to hit 2,500 followers there and 200k subscribers on YouTube. Also linked in the description is a guide called Roblox Islands Guide, and has basically everything you need to know about islands on it. If you need help with anything, then it's probably there, but I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, YouTube!